Opportunity for both teams. This is a top 25 program that we're facing on the road and an improved team since the last time that we've played them. I truly believe our conference is at a place, again, 14 teams definitely deserving of an NCAA berth. And I'm just excited with our growth and what the things we've done, the things we've worked on, the things we've improved on that has allowed us to be able to compete at the level we're competing at. And I credit our staff for being great at what they do in preparation, and obviously our players who are falling in love with the preparation. Each game poses a different threat, a different game plan, and you got to have guys on target, meaning mentally, physically, emotionally, to prepare for the next opponent. So I'm thankful for that, and obviously our fans that's been able to create a home court advantage for us.
All right, questions?
Dennis, when you look at that Arkansas team you played a month ago versus doing film work and game prep this week, what do you see has changed for them?
They've gotten better at roles, settling into it. You know, when it comes down to execution, they're executing at a better rate. Guys are stepping up. They have balance. They're getting to the foul line. They're doing things that I truly believe they were doing, but they're just doing it at a different pace, a different rate. They have great size, great athleticism, and top to bottom. You look at their depth. You know, the depth is what it is, but they have those guys prepared to play.
Dennis, kind of on the same thread there, where do you feel like, obviously that was a win for you guys, but where do you feel like you guys have grown the most since that Arkansas game, being that was, near the beginning of the SEC slate?
Yeah, each game has given us a different opportunity to grow in a different area. I just think our guys have done a great job adjusting to the opponents, adjusting to what has been needed. And obviously the depth of our team has been one of our strengths. And these guys have done a great job of allowing their teammates to step up when needed. Yeah, everyone knows Caleb Grill can shoot the ball. Everyone knows Mark Mitchell and his versatility, but top to bottom, our guys from Jacob Cruz, Marquez Ward, even some of our freshmen, T.O. Barrett, specifically, and Marcus Allen, those guys have done a great job. I want our other guys to step up. Hunter Boateng, Aiden Shaw, Marquez Warwick. I need those guys to step up and complete our team all at the same time, and Peyton Marshall the same.
Coach, can you just talk about the strength of this league? Jay Billis recently calling it one of the most powerful leagues he's ever seen, maybe in the history of college basketball, and just how, you navigating that now through 13 games, if you agree with that.
Yeah, it's the best basketball conference ever assembled. And again, I said it on many platforms that it's the right coaches. Our coaches are successful, versatile in different styles of play. It's the right time where those many coaches, including myself, are here. You add the type of players, the caliber of stars that we have. These guys are doing a great job. The level of transfer portal, the level of high school recruiting class members, and the retention. And it's just talented, top to bottom. And no team is no team, I believe, they just create in-game situations that can allow them to win. And when you have the versatility of coaching, execution, and athleticism and shooting all in one place, it's gonna be a first round NCAA tournament game every single time we cross the court, and that's what it feels like.
Coach, as you get further into this, facing the SEC, all the veteran experience that you have on your group, and you've talked about the leadership before. What's that like with you and the coaching staff and guys who have been there before, collaborating and attacking the game plan and competing in this conference?
Well, for me, the way I break my staff down, we have two guys responsible for defense. That's Ryan Charbaugh as the defensive coordinator and Kyle Smith-Peters as the assistant defensive coordinator. And then offensive coordinator, you have Rob Summers, who is in charge of that, and then Matt Klein, who's assistant offensive coordinator. Charlton Young oversees kind of everything in addition to myself. and we have so many other parts analytically, the things, and you guys have heard me talk about the analytic part of the game. We have guys in place, to kind of dissect that, and we just come together and we make sure we're executing the game plan from a putting it on paper standpoint. Once we remove it from paper and put it visually for our players, we have to sift through the lens of a player. They may not know everything that we know, but we got to get them prepared to play with their instincts in game. And that's what you see. You see a group of guys falling in love with that process, being able to remember personnel, remember just the nuances of that, the details, and the things that can allow us to win, whether it's a top 5 things or top 10. These things have to be executed at a high level. And I just credit, even the guys with high minutes, the guys with lower minutes, and top to bottom, our entire roster, because it is difficult for some freshmen to have that transition. But obviously, when you're not playing as many minutes as some guys are, you tend to lose focus. Well, our guys hadn't lost focus, and that's the part I appreciate the most.
Coach,
Coach, thank you. Part of beating somebody like Alabama is that you get a little bit of increased national attention. We're sort of seeing that over television, social media at the moment. Have you seen the team react to being a little bit more popular around the country and where your national standing is right now?
Well, as it relates to quote unquote upsets outside of our circle, we've it may be an upset to other people. We've talked about this in June, and we've prepped on this in June. We talked about our destination and the things that we will have to do. So for me, it's back to work. We're 0-0 right now, and we stay in the moment. We don't look too far behind, no too far but ahead of us, and we're right here in the moment, and we allow ourselves to reset. And these guys have had big wins this year, according to the public, but every game is important to us. Every single one we've treated the exact same. We've not changed anything as it relates to how we attack our practices, our film study, our day-to-day operations. We're just in this phase where others on the outside is starting to recognize as they compare us to the others that they spent a lot of time watching. So now you're watching Missouri, and I guess everyone likes what they see, but it's not going to change anything that we haven't seen internally. We know our potential, and you guys laugh at me. And when I say we have not played up to that potential yet, I truly believe we hadn't even touched it. And when you know, you'll know. But right now we're still going in the right direction, which is exciting. But we're going at this pace that allows us the timing that leads hopefully to San Antonio.
Coach, it's kind of the age-old sports cliche that it's harder to beat a team a second time. How true is that? And especially when you're coaching against a coach like Coach Cal?
Well, every game is difficult. Every game is difficult. They're not the same team during that date. We're not the same team either. And you're going to have a great game, on the road for us, and obviously at home for them. This game is not going to mean, a level of unfocus. Our guys are focused. They're going to prepare how they've been preparing, and I like what I see in our practices.
Yes, I think.
Go ahead,
Eli.
Gabe. Oh, thanks. Coach, when you're going up against one of these teams that is on the bubble and pushing for a spot in the tournament, do you expect any kind of added urgency or intensity on their part?
They're not on a bubble. They're an NCAA tournament team. They're top 25 in my eyes, and in our team's eyes. We don't go bubble and off the bubble. In every preseason publication, this team was ranked top 10? They have not changed. Calipari has not changed his coaching style. He's the same coach that everybody said was a top 25 team, top 10 in the country. That's what we go off of. We don't go with the ebb and flows of what opinions are from AP and what they think, unless everybody watches every game, which I am shocked if every voter watches everybody's game in the top 25 to compare and put their votes in. The only room that does that just announced only 16. That's the only ranking that matters in college basketball. We wasn't a part of that 16. They wasn't a part of that 16. That's all that counts. It's two great basketball teams that I truly believe in our conference are NCAA tournament teams. I don't know nothing about a bubble. I have know nothing about it. They're an NCAA tournament team, top 10 in America.
Dennis, the last 3 games, I think Mark is 21 for 28 on 2-point attempts, which is, significantly higher than he had been shooting. Have you seen anything different, whether it's the shots he's taken or what's allowed him that success here in these last few games?
Well, 2 things. Demands from two sides. Demands from me. He sat down that Texas A&M game in the second half for over 10 minutes, and he wasn't aggressive. Then demands from his teammates and expectations from his teammates. Our leaders do a great job. Jeremy Sanchez, Caleb Grill, and Tamar Bates. And Mark Mitchell does a great job receiving the information and the demands we have of him, and he does not block or even push away when we want to coach or even demand more from him. We know where his talent is. We know what talent our team has. And ultimately what you see is a young man growing, like I mentioned before, and the sum of the individual growth allows our team to grow. And I want other guys to make jumps and grow how you see Mark Mitchell growing, because that means our team will grow as a byproduct of it.
Final question.